My dear friends, what do you think? The basic infrastructure of a human being. What is the basic infrastructure of a human being? Well, Rumi mentions that in his Masnavi of Manavi, book 2, band 9, ای برادر تو همان اندیشه‌ای مابقی تو استخوان و ریشه‌ای. My dear friend, you are your mentality. The rest of your body are the same as pieces of bones and vessels. گر گل است اندیشه تو, if your mentality is the same as a flower, you will be the same as a garden. گر گل است اندیشه تو گلشنی. ور بود خاری, if your mentality is the same as a thorn, تو هیمه گلخنی. You will be the same as a fireplace that you are gonna just try to throw dry pieces of wood into that fireplace. So in this case, Rumi mentions that we as human being are what we think, our mentality. Well, let's take a look at Socrates' mentality towards the basic and infrastructure of a human being. He mentions that the only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. So, every time that you study, every time that you are trying to broaden your knowledge, you will understand that still there are something to know. So in this case, we can say that we should think. We should think and we should take a look at our mentality. Dante mentions that consider your origins. You were not made to live as brutes, but to follow virtue and knowledge. You know, you're supposed to follow virtue and knowledge. Knowledge. You have to think about yourself. And in this case, if you know yourself, you're gonna just try to improve your knowledge. This beautiful quote reminds me of a very beautiful lines of Iranian or Persian humorist called Obeid Zakani. He mentions that شکر نامحصور و حمد نامحدود حضرت واجب الوجود را جلت قدرته که زیور عقل را پیرایه وجود انسان ساخت تا به وسیلت آن در کسب اخلاق حمیده و صفات جمیله غایت جهد مبذول گردانید. He tries to point to the fact that we have got something in our body called mind, and thank to the creator of the universe that he gifted this beautiful piece in our body. Well, René Descartes' mentality towards the basic and infrastructure of a human being. He has got a very famous sentence called cogito, je pense donc je suis. I think, therefore I am. So in this case, he mentions that whenever I think, I understand that I exist. So in this case, we have to think about our mentality. Plutarch mentions that the mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. It's the same as a fire to be kindled. We need to fire this one. Ferdowsi, another great Persian poet, mentions that خرد چشم جان است چون بنگری تو بی چشم شادان جهان نسپری. He just tries to draw an analogy between our mind and the universe, and it says that our mind is the same as the eyes of inner sight. So in this case, we can say that we have to think about ourselves. John Racine mentions that life is a comedy to those who think, a tragedy to those who feel. Perfect. My dear friends, in this case, we are supposed to think about the basic and infrastructure of ourselves. We should think. ای برادر تو همان اندیشه‌ای. So, if you want to know about the technical features, here here it's the same as a simile. My dear friend, you are the same as what you think. Khar, Gulshan, they are, Gulshan and Gulkhan, they are paradise. And here the sound ge is repeated, and it is repetition here. Thank you very much indeed, and I hope happiness shines with your life. Take care and have lots of fun.